It must be a lot of work keeping this place going. Hats off to Demoiselle Lenny for managing all by herself. Somebody's been smoking. A client, maybe? Unless Lenny likes to sneak a smoke. Austere. Looks like a storage room. So that's the painting Dana told Lenny's father to buy. Not bad. And similar in style to my painting. Wonder what the others were like. I guess there must be an access to the attic from the first floor. That's pretty impressive. Obviously helps Lenny get up and about. She's still sitting there, watching. Wonder what she's thinking about. Dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the refuge these days. Take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. Take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. This must be Yunta's coffer, the one Lenny spoke about. I should check each side of the coffer. Looks like I can slide these images on the side in and out. Looks like I can slide these images on the side in and out. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. I must remember to ask Lenny about it. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. Amazing! Now it shows the view from the terrace. I should try to use some coordinates from the spyglass with the locks on Yunta's coffer. This one says Lenny, director. So I guess Lenny did get to make her film after all. Vaughan Refuge, 1937. Yunta's films, taken during the summer Dana worked here. This one says Lenny, director. So I guess Lenny did get to make her film after all. No doubt Yunta must have written this. Summer 1937. The year Dana worked here. Let's see. I filled my last diary last night. Ordered another one, but still waiting for supplies to be delivered to the refuge. Using an old envelope in the meantime. Today invited Dana for a chat after her shift.
I'd like to know what Leon sees in her. I've never seen him so smitten. Thanks for popping up, Dana. How did the shift go?
Fine, same as usual.
Just finishing up here, then I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Wow, that looks futuristic. What is it?
Ah, that little baby is my viewer. That's why it goes in the coffer.
What does it do?
I use it to put together and edit the rushes.
The what?
Rushes. In other words, the strips of unedited footage. I've finished today's selection, so be a dear and put it in the coffer, would you?
I would if I knew how.
Oh, just turn the key in the lock. Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
It's a handy hiding place. Who made it?
Oh, Herr Gustav. He knows only too well that some customers have their little secrets, you know.
Junta's key should be safe in there.
Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
Wrong one. Impossible.
This is where Junta's bed used to be, which means her secret stash can't be far.
Get away!
I'll need a key to open it.
Better try something else.
Where can I find the combination for the mechanism? Darn it. The end of Yunta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to open the cover from what I've read.
Did you take this picture?
Of course.
How did you and Leon get together? I mean, how did you...
We're just friends, if that's what you want to know.
And Herr Hus? What's he doing with the Origin expedition?
Unfortunately, all scientific expeditions sponsored by the Brown Shadow come with a chaperone like him. There to make sure their funds are used as they see fit. In other words, that there is no divergence with regards to their ideology.
How did you get to film them training?
Oh, it was a commission. Lucky, really. Right place, right time kind of thing. Of course, I jumped at the chance because it meant I could film Leon in action at last.
Herr Gustav's radio. Looks like he customized it, probably to compensate for the wave disturbance due to the mountains. Herr Gustav's radio. Looks like he customized it, probably to compensate for the wave disturbance due to the mountains. That's a lot of equipment you have there. If you don't mind my asking, how do you manage to pay for it all?
Oh, that's easy. Especially when you know a few generous patrons of the arts, dear.
Did you take the photos of the athletes? You're not often lonely then.
Well, look at our sweet little waitress. Doesn't she have a saucy mind? It's called art, dear. My work aims to explore every facet of youth and the vitality of bodies.
I bet it does. I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I use them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh?
No, I don't think so.
I've already seen this reel. Interesting footage. Let's see what's on the other reel. Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it.
Fraulein Laney will end up catching her death of cold if she stays out like that.
Demoiselle Lenny, I saw the film you shot of Dana and Leon.
So Junta kept it. She got so cross when she discovered I'd rummaged through her stuff. She most certainly had secrets of her own, that one.
I know it was ages ago, but can you recall what happened between Dana and Leon that day?
You do like flogging a dead horse, don't you, Fräulein? But as you please. Since Junta never let me use her camera, I decided not to ask her anymore. Like that, she couldn't say no, could she? And that's when I heard them arguing.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
Why don't you just refuse then? It's their stupid expedition, not yours.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night, he's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vegarian and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vegarians would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the Music Academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that. You know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on, then.
All right. Your nickname will be Alpine Lover from now on.
All right, but maybe you ought not to say this in public. Beautiful, isn't it? I could stay here forever.
There, Fräulein Walker. That is all I have to say. I hope this time you have what you need to continue on your journey.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. But there is just one more thing. You mentioned a music academy? They must have ledgers and archives. Maybe I'll be able to find out whether Dana left an address there.
Well, it hasn't moved. It's still in Vargan. Go to the musicians' district. It's right next to the musical square. That's all I can tell you. So if you don't mind, Fräulein.
Thank you. Then that's where I'll continue my search.
Is it really worth your while to keep looking for Dana? Is it not just another pipe dream, Fräulein? I get the impression there have been others.
I prefer to look at it as a calling. Besides, I don't have much choice. Thanks to you, she's a part of me now.
As you wish. I hope you find what you are looking for.
Thank you. Again. I've got everything I need from here, I guess. Best get back to the guest house. Get some rest. I'll go to the music academy first thing in the morning.
So, I expect this will be our last goodbye then, Fräulein. If I were you, Fräulein, I wouldn't wait too long before returning to the tram. It's a fair trot back to the station, you know?
It's time for me to take the tramway again. I just have to go back down the path I came by.
If you get a chance, have a look at the Silberspiegel at sunset. The colors are a marvel of nature. If this goes on, I'll end up reading my way through the entire bookcase.
I found her, my sweet Katusha. The girl in the painting. Her name is Dana. Dana Rose.
That's nice, Kate. Real nice.
I'm gonna find out who she was, just like I promised you.
Nothing more than a good old adventure to forget your grief, I guess. You should go, Kate, or you're gonna miss the tram. There will always be a train for you.
Oh, gosh. What a day.
I hope Oscar's okay, wherever he is. I'm not abandoning him. I just need to find him. closed. It's late. Frau Wagner must have gone to bed.
I beg you, Kate, please come back and say goodbye to your mother. Call me so we can organize your return in the best conditions possible. Call me for the sake of what's left of our friendship.
There's no point. It's too late, Olivia. Not a soul here. Not surprising, given the time. I must remember to thank Frau Wagner for giving me one of the nicest rooms. But I think I'd better just call in. Colonel Blake. Vaughan Institute for Forensic Science and Medicine. Charming. Do not disturb. Well, all right then. Vaughan is surrounded by the Alps. Switzerland is right on the other side.
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be? Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been seeing them a lot since what happened to Dad. I mean, come on, I've been cooped up in my room for hours. Jeez, pulling my hair out, trying to figure out the math problem Miss Wormwood gave us. I deserve a break, right?
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom. Another letter for Dad. Last time it took Mom days to find the strength to open it. Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday. I really ought to read it, or at least dog-ear the pages so it looks like I did. Mom bought those again. Mom bought those again. The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. Couldn't bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead. I'd love to play with Mom's music box in the living room. Wow. I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up.
Is everything okay, Katie?
We haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time. Mom says they'll probably come over from New York on her birthday. I'd love to play with Mom's music box in the living room. You forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
Where'd this come from?
I already told you. Your grandma and grandpa gave it to me when I was little.
Doesn't look like it's from New York, though.
I don't know. Must have been in the family forever.
I just love it.
You've always liked it. Ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later, Katie.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
Dear Kate, wherever you are now, despite the sad news it contains, I hope this letter reaches you in time.
Oh, give it a rest, Olivia. Ah, what the hell? You want me to call you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism. Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Kenton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated. I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I don't have to justify myself to you, Olivia, or to anyone else.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Canton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
I get why you're mad. Do you think I'm not mad at myself?
Well, I hope so.
But there's nothing I can do now to change what happened. It's over, Olivia. All I have now is the woman in the painting.
Oh, Kate, I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone, and that's how you're gonna stay.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaughan. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records.
Katusha's punk group. Would love to have seen them.
Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more. Nothing relevant. The expedition mustn't have led to any major breakthrough, I guess. No results about Dana. She probably never got famous. Huh. Yunta. Demoiselle Lenny told me a lot about her. But was she some kind of spy?
Ah, hello, Miss Walker. Ah, Miss Walker, did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I'd like to go to the Music Academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the Academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Wagen was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
I must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
The academy must be a large building. I don't think it'll be in these narrow streets.
Don't do that. Stop it. Oh dear. Help! Help! Someone! Help! Put me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it! Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
All right then.
Oscar! Are you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar. Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, traveling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
I'm counting on you to transplant my mechanical heart as soon as we come across an XZ2000 automaton. Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again. Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana... Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through. An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Borgstadt. Strange. Strange. I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanically sealed. I don't think I'll be able to open it directly. Do you know where the Music Academy is, Oscar?
It should logically be on the square.
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing. All these letters. They look like letters of formal notice. They probably haven't been paying the bills for some time. So that's the famous Vaughan Music Academy? It's not what I was expecting.
Guten Tag!
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Okay, so you're busy. There's no need to shout at me.
So, now what do you want, council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler. And it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the Academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the Academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
well, you know.
All right, then. So if I get the mechanical orchestra going, you'll get me that file, right?
Oh, of course, Fraulein. Of course.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Rose. Dana Rose.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh. And here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectress of the Academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Droz you spoke of.
Dana Rose.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Wagen, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the Orchestra of Automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the Hymn of Wagen. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the Academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. The report that the rectoress of the Academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. The report that the rectoress of... Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection. And this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
I'm just a little worried, that's all. About a friend who has left on a long voyage.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though. Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto, right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Verischonberg. Was there something else, Fraulein Rose?
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fraulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein. Come back and see me once you've got the reports from the 4 maintenance man.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter. Oh, it had to fall to me.
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if you were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay. The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it. It seems perfectly functional. It seems perfectly functional. One 973. That could be useful. Wow. So this is what the mechanism looks like when it's perfectly functional.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair, by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be...
Something's wrong.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it.
Well played, Kate Walker. You seem to be on the right track to successfully completing the service the Rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms.
Oh, it had to fall to me.
I don't think they mentioned this code in the report. I don't think they mentioned this code in the report.
You'll find the maintenance man next to each of the musical mechanisms.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
I don't think they mentioned this code in the report. I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it. I need to find the owner. I need to find the owner. Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing. Looks locked. I can't go in. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
Do you know anything about the Wagen Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. It used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
But not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Budget cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the Academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
The telephone number of the company is written on the van.
I seem to recall seeing a telephone in the Music Academy, Kate Walker.
Wagner Baufirma, Dietrich. Guten Tag.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you.
What is this? What is this?
It's locked. It's locked.
Wrong one.
Something's wrong. Half done. Let's see what's next. Looks locked. I can't go in.
It's locked.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material. I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Oh, I've already checked over everything upstairs. There's no point you going up there.
That elevator Dana tried to take, it leads to the clock tower. We need to find it, Oscar. Looks locked. I can't go in. That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got... According to the report, we can access the clock tower mechanism through this building, in what today must be the back room.
There is
The elevator Dana saw during her inspection must be right here, behind the door. I need to find a way to reach it.
Ah, Fräulein. So, anything else I can help you with?
Well, I need to get to the back room of the shop.
This shop?
Yes, if you don't...
I'm sorry, but it's strictly forbidden to the public. Besides, why would anyone want to go back there?
Well, it seems that the back room has the only access to the clock tower, which is where I need to get.
I'm sorry, but it's against company rules. I can't allow it, Fräulein.
Okay, thanks anyway. Okay, I need to find another way in. The elevator Dana saw during her inspection must be right here, behind the door. I need to find a way to reach it. I should be able to get through it, if I can reach it. I think some of the automatons on the square need repairing.
Yes, indeed, Kate Walker. We didn't look at the second tuning box located near the kiosk.
Good. Now I just have to find the elevator to the clock tower.
Must I remind you that we are here illegally, Kate Walker? The employee will be very surprised to see you coming out of his back room.
According to the report, the elevator should be behind there. Let's hope it hasn't been walled up since. There. Okay. Just need to clear the passageway.
can't run the risk of missing something important by leaving now.
Frau Beckmann has given me a unique opportunity to visit all the mechanisms of... I would love to be able to climb to the top of the clock tower. They say the mechanism is incredible. The spare parts for the automatons on the square.
That's it for the engine. Now I should open those large doors. Looks like spare parts for automatons. Three working now. One more to go. They're still magnificent, in spite of their age. I wonder how long it's been since they were activated. I think some of the automatons on the square need repairing.
Yes, indeed, Kate Walker. We didn't look at the second tuning box located near the kiosk.
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Borgstadt. I don't think they mentioned this given the condition of that door. It should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Such an act is illegal.
Let's just... Something's wrong. Looks like a part is missing. Right. Okay. I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you.
All the mechanisms on the square are working. I just need to deal with the piano now.
It looks like this wheel is designed to activate the piano's engine thanks to the dynamo effect, Kate Walker.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on again. Okay, the sheet music is in place. I can't play. The engine is off.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
The motor has started up, the automatons are repaired, and I have the sheet music with me. It's time to play the Hymn of Vaughan on the square.
That doesn't work.
I can't play. The engine... Okay, the sheet music is in place. Excuse me? Hello?
Now what?
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Vargan. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on and on, but nothing was ever done. And so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
Why is the Academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students, if that's not a stupid question?
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order, regardless of the rhythm. You just need to know the basics of music reading.
I'd better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
I can't play. The engine is off. I need to find a way to activate the piano. I need to find a way to activate the piano. I need to find a way to activate the piano. An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Borgstadt. The motor has started up, the automatons are repaired, and I have the sheet music with me. It's time to play the Hymn of Wagen on the square. The motor has started up, the automatons are repaired, and I have the sheet music with me. It's time to play the Hymn of Wagen on the square. All the mechanisms on the square. The motor has started up, the automatons are repaired, and I have the sheet music with me. It's time to play the Hymn of Wagen on the square. Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton was made for a specific purpose. It has no notion of sentiment. Indeed, I would go as far to say that it was a basic monofunctional automaton, unlike some of us more evolved automatons, built to serve several purposes. Wait, Kate Walker, I am a highly evolved automaton.
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up and make use of it like the rector said. Is everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Vaughan's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough, because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Vaughan, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm gonna find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Oh, no address here. Oh, this is definitely Dana's file. Now, the address. Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke der Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein. I never thought I'd see another concert before I left this place. It won't stop the Academy from closing. But at least, thanks to you, the automatons will have given the most beautiful swan song.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. Dana's old house is situated on the Bridge of Mists.
I still haven't had the chance to take the tram, Kate Walker. I can't wait to try it. I say, this is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay? Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20. The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated.
Must have got it wrong.
Don't even think about it, Kate Walker.
Impossible.
Whoa! That's one shrill version of the Hymn of Vaughan. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vaughan. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vaughan. There are lots of houses on this bridge. Oscar, any idea where the Roses might have lived?
I suggest you cast an eye over the registration file that the rector of the Music Academy gave you.
"20 Bridge of Mists." Dana's address in the 30s. There's number 20. Dana's old house. Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere.
Guten Tag, Fräulein.
All our gifts are handmade by craftsmen in Vaughan. Made in Vaughan. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think.
On holiday in the region, Fraulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service. I noticed you were looking at a souvenir, Fraulein.
Yes, you have a wonderful choice here, Frau Heigl. Your shop is beautiful.
Thank you. All our souvenirs here are pieces of craftsmanship, as we like to say. All by local craftsmen. Do you wish to buy the souvenir, Fraulein?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No. My husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the Roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fraulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fraulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
It's right in Frau Heigel's line of vision, too. I'm gonna have to draw her away if I want to sneak through that service door to the upper floors. More gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think. Made in Vaughan. Can't leave now. There are still things to do here. Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council. Now that I've bought this cheap souvenir, what can I do with it, Oscar?
It looks like Frau Hegel cares about the quality and the origin of her products. This kind of souvenir would be an insult to have among the other items in her shop.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Oh, there it is. How awful. That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Great. I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Diana Rose's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
Good idea. Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up. This photo shows the house partially destroyed. Must have been taken after the bombing that preceded the liberation of Vagen. This is where Frau Heigl must take her breaks. I wonder where Dana's room can be.
I'm afraid you'll have to inspect every room on every floor, Kate Walker.
It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up. It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded. More stock for the shop. Nothing of interest in here. A double bed. Plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room, then? The number of rooms don't add up.
Just what I needed. Just what I needed.
A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents. There was a photo on top of these shelves on the first floor.
It might give you a clue as to the whereabouts of Diana Rose's room.
It's been bricked up. Most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of. Huh. The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north. That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, one of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on her track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Hegel, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see. Oscar, I need your opinion on this.
Ah, that's better.
Looks like that fire escape staircase serves every floor of the house.
That is correct, Kate Walker. Perhaps you should find a way to use it.
Better try something else.
So what do you think, Oscar?
I think I would have liked a body with longer front legs.
I was talking about the window up there. Must be Dana's room, right?
Oh, of course. There is a high probability that you are not wrong, Kate Walker.
Looks like the staircase serves every floor, including Dana's.
I conjecture that you are probably right, Kate Walker.
The second floor windows will be of no use to reach the staircase. Well, we can't get to the staircase from the first floor windows.
Indeed, Kate Walker, all the windows you could have used are obstructed.
The ladder to the first floor is up. It's too high for me to pull down. Looks like there's a mechanism up there to lower the ladder. These stairs might help us reach Dana's room.
You're bound to find a way.
That drain pipe leads to a ledge that leads to the staircase.
According to my calculations, the drain pipe will not hold you, Kate Walker. And even if you were lighter, the ledge is too narrow for you to stand on.
Hey, are you trying to tell me something, Oscar?
Yes, you are too heavy and too wide, Kate Walker, for the ledge.
Gee, thanks, Oscar. So basically, it's not going to be easy to use the staircase to get to Dana's room.
There is no other way. Access is denied from inside the first and second floors, and the third floor stairwell is bricked up. The fire escape staircase is the only possibility, Kate Walker. But you cannot climb up the drain pipe because of your weight and size.
I heard you the first time, thanks.
You are welcome, Kate Walker. So, the only way up is by the fire escape staircase, and that means lowering the ladder from the first floor.
Well, in that case, there's only one solution. As you're so light and slim, Oscar, you'll have to climb up the drain pipe and walk across the ledge for me. Then you just need to activate the mechanism to lower the steps so that heavy me can take the staircase route.
I was not made to climb up drain pipes, Kate Walker. I am a precision-made automaton.
Come on, Oscar. You saved the day more than once at Baranor. It must be second nature by now.
But how can I lower myself to scurrying like a rat?
Because you're a fine fellow and my faithful friend?
Kate Walker, help! I believe I am stuck here.
Stay calm, Oscar. I'm coming.
Climbing like a common squirrel. This is a disgrace.
Everything okay up there?
Yes, Kate Walker. I just need to... Ah!
Hang on tight, Oscar!
Oh, I am, Kate Walker. Believe me, I am.
You gotta jump now, Oscar. Hurry! Well done, Oscar. Glad that you're safe and sound.
I guess that's one way of putting it, Kate Walker.
I'm also glad you haven't lost your positive attitude.
That useless body. Now I must find another way. I'm climbing up all over again.
Be careful there, Oscar.
Oh dear, that can't be good. Oh dear. Now, Miss Pigeon. Madam Pigeon, then. I beg your pardon. Now, Madam Pigeon, would you be so kind as to make way? I guess I'm going to need help here. Kate Walker,
How am I supposed to get rid of that pigeon?
No. Better try something else. That doesn't work. No, I don't think so.
can't throw it at the pigeon, but maybe I can use it some other way.
Kate Walker!
Sorry, Oscar.
Made our point, I guess. Now, maybe this body will be useful in the end.
Locked, of course.
No.
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Vorarlberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my. Really? Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? Really, if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far." Okay, let's try and find out what became of Dana after she left the refuge. No doubt about it, this must have been Dana's room. It's from the Music Academy. It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. There's something underneath. Can't reach it. Can't be that heavy. That's better. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. Oh, come on. I'm sure it must be the right combination of symbols. Oh, I must have missed something. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. It won't open. And yet I'm pretty sure the combination of symbols is right. There must be something else to set with the wheels. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. I could swear I found the right combination. What else could I set on the wheels in addition to the symbols? The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder... The padlock on the chest is very special.
Its shape reminds me of the silhouette drawn on the papers that you found, Kate Walker.
Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma. It's blocking it. It's blocking it. The wheels on the lock seem to have... Oh, come on. I'm sure it must be the right combination of symbols. Oh, I must have missed something. Maybe the symbols aren't the only thing I need to set on each wheel. It won't open, and yet I'm pretty sure the combination of symbols is right. There must be something else to set with the wheels. It won't open. I'm pretty sure I've collected all the clues I could in the room, though. I should take a look at the documents and items in my diary. Oh, come on. I'm sure it must be the right combination of symbols. Oh, I must have missed something. Maybe the symbols aren't the only... It won't open. The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. I could swear I found the right combination. What else could I set on the wheels in addition to the symbols? It won't open, and yet I'm pretty sure the combination of symbols is right. There must be something else to set with the wheels.
I don't think it's a good idea to venture this way.
No doubt about it. This must have been Dana's room.
Can't leave now.
The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why. Oh, come on. I'm sure it must be the right combination of symbols. Oh, I must have missed something. Maybe the symbols aren't the only thing I need to set on each wheel. It won't open, and yet I'm pretty sure the combination of symbols is right. There must be something else to set with the wheels. It's blocking it.
Thing's stuck.
It's blocking it.
Thing's stuck.
It's blocking it.
Thing's stuck.
It's blocking it. This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you. I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors. Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, We explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. Up we get, Leon. Another day on a wild goose chase. I'd better get kitted up before going out.